Do you want a guy like Paul Maurice,
Right.
who's back there again, grinding it out as a coach, amongst a lot of other players?
Right.
I mean, there's always players playing for it, and everyone's got but that's kind of the heartwarming, do it for Maurice, right? Or do you want the Canadian team with the guy who's already going down in history to just add to it? For me, the best of the worst is I am going to be cheering for the Oilers.
What?
I do want to see that story play out.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm a fan of hockey, and the Stanley Cup is by far the hardest trophy on an annualized sport basis to achieve. And I'm kind of happy when it's over because, what we forget is once the cup is won, when the injury reports come out and you start seeing what people were actually playing with and playing through and what they had and what they've done and what they've done all year. I think of guys like Barkov and Ekblad, for example, where it's why wouldn't they deserve it? These are people that have been tried, tested, and true franchise, born and bred Florida players in a market that's trying to really, really get going. If you're a Florida Panthers fan, you've seen a Stanley Cup Finals back in the day with Mellenby.
That's right.
Okay, and now
Van Beesbrook.
Right. Okay, and now you're back at it for the second year in a row. Florida fan, look, Edmonton fan, I get you, but Florida fan, I got you. That's a tough one. Are they going to be the Bills?
Buddy,
of
are
the
you in my
NHL?
brain? This is technically, you made it 2 years in a row. I'm not saying that it's harder to get in the NFL. To go to 4 straight Super Bowls is an accomplishment in itself. To go to 2 straight Stanley Cups, I would put it basically even. And this could be your last chance. To do 3 straight Stanley Cups is very difficult to do. And based on your record, I don't know if you guys really want to get to the finals again. You know what I mean? You got to win one to feel good about going to the finals. I think Buffalo, all those years, when you're playing Dallas 3 years in a row, you're already mentally dead. Okay. You're going, I can't beat these guys.
Okay, Mitch. Mm-hmm. So you've talked the talk. Yeah. You've said what you've had to say over the years.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw for the Edmonton Oilers.
Right.
You still blow it up at this point?
Well, here's the thing. What I think has come to fruition out of this is that Edmonton has shown a small chink in the armor that can be fixed with a Draisaitl being pushed around. I'm not saying he's the reason that this went to 7 and McDavid had to put everyone on their back, but I'm not saying it either. All I'm saying is at the end of the day, the haul that you can get for Draisaitl will cover all those holes that you guys say. Because McJesus/McKiller has shown one thing: when the going gets tough, he got going. And that's what you need. If you got one superstar with that kind of caliber doing what he needs to do, you don't need the Draisaitls. You don't need the other superstars because he's going to make he's made Hyman the best goal scorer of all time in the playoffs. You guys, that's how good Connor McDavid is. So on one end, I feel like I'm justified. On the other, I need them to lose so I can be completely justified. But at the end of the day, man, the storyline is so good here. I don't know. I'm going to stick with Florida only because I took them at the beginning.
Don't change now.
I can't change now.
Yeah, don't change now.
I can't change now. No. Or can I? No, it's going to be a great game. The only thing that will make it this much better, just a little sprinkle, go to overtime. Go to overtime in Boca. Let's see what happens. That's all I'm going to say. It's gone this long. 7-hour flight, 7-hour flight, 7-hour flight. Throw in an extra day in. Throw in an overtime.
Time changes.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, good point. Throw it all in. Throw it all in. One last little thing with the Oilers. You got to give where credit is due and credit is deserved. Skinner. You know what, man?
Yeah.
Kid has been fine.
Right.
He's more than fine. But in last night's game, would you at least agree? Or in the last 2 games, where has Florida been? Yesterday, they finished the first period with 2 shots on net.
Okay. I agree with that a little bit. Mm-hmm. You're right. They're slow starters in these games that they've lost. There's no question about it. But But
Right.
they are still getting their chances. Right? Like
Are they? I don't know, man. They look pretty bad to me.
But if you're Edmonton's turned it up though. And you touched on something earlier that you said it today, and I was thinking about it this morning as I was driving. We seem to forget that the Oilers were a heater, right? Like before the All-Star break, how many games? It was 17 games in a row.
Yeah, and 10 prior to that.
And 10 prior. So they were on this heater. But so Skinner, amazing. Florida's still getting their chances, right? Like they're still kind of in that, oh my goodness, I can't believe the puck didn't go in. But that's also happened to others. I want to bring another thing up, though, win, lose, or draw. Coaching change.
Yeah.
Where we thought that it didn't matter. Where we even, I wouldn't say overly criticized, but we touched on the point. But there was a lot of criticism.
Sure.
Oh, why build your team around McDavid? Why cater to the McDavid? Why blah, blah, blah. Everyone had their jokes. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
If it's working, it's working. So if you can't have the right wingman on the ice,
right,
maybe have him on the bench.
Listen, at the end of the day, so last Saturday, when we thought it was going to be the sweep, I had the Byron.
Not me. You did. Not
I
me.
had the Blake.
I had faith.
I had the just win, and I had little brother Shane.
Oh.
All of them at the bar. We're all sitting there watching the game. Only Shane was cheering for the Oilers. I get it. He's heartbroken, poor kid.
Fair point.
He's not thinking right. The rest of us are all cheering Florida, and I think there was one time where I look over at Byron, and I think we kind of realized, when it's an 8-1 drubbing, you know what? You just made a statement. Either you come back the next game and do the same thing, or you guys are going to get your ass whooped. And when they went back to Florida and beat them again, dude, I think a lot of people had it in their calendar going, this is going to go 7 now.
W, we're saved by the bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.